What's the price of a dream? Persistence when no one believes, and faith when no results are showing. Pay the price, and the dream becomes reality. Everything you want is on the other side of, I can't do this anymore. Push through, because that moment of doubt is always right before a breakthrough. If you were given a guarantee that everything you wanted was waiting for you just beyond the next obstacle, would you still quit? The problem is life doesn't tell you when the finish line is near, so most people stop running too soon. You don't have to be the smartest, the fastest, or the strongest. You just have to be the one who refuses to quit. Because the person who stays in the game the longest always wins. You don't fail when you fall. You fail when you refuse to get back up. Every millionaire, every success story, every legend has one thing in common. They got back up one more time than they fell. Here is another side to it. Most people don't fail because they aim too high and missed. They fail because they aim too low and hit. They set goals that were comfortable, achievable, and safe, never daring to stretch beyond what was easy. And then one day, they wake up and realize they've settled for a life far below their potential. See, the danger isn't in dreaming too big. The real danger is in shrinking your dreams to fit your current reality instead of expanding your reality to match your dreams. The world is full of people who compromised, who played it safe, who let fear dictate their ambitions. They told themselves, this is good enough. But good enough is the enemy of greatness. If you aim for the mountaintop and fall short, you're still higher than those who never dared to climb. But if you aim for mediocrity and succeed, you've locked yourself into a life of regret. Don't let comfort rob you of your potential. Dream big, take risks, and keep pushing forward. Because the only true failure is never trying at all. A dream is more than just a passing thought. It's the blueprint of your future. It's the mental picture of what could be, what should be, and with the right actions, what will be. Without a dream, life is like a ship without a rudder, tossed by the wind, drifting aimlessly, ending up anywhere but where you intended. But with a dream, life gains direction, purpose, and meaning. Every great achievement, every towering success, every remarkable legacy started as nothing more than an idea in the mind of someone who refused to settle for less. Think of the people who shaped the world: Henry Ford, Walt Disney, Thomas Edison. Ford didn't just see a car, he saw an automobile in every driveway. Disney didn't just see cartoons, he saw an empire of imagination. Edison didn't just see a light bulb, he saw a world no longer ruled by darkness. These people had no guarantee of success, no certainty that their vision would become reality, but they had one thing in common: they refused to let go of their dream. Now, having a dream is the starting point, but the real magic is in the daily disciplines. The grandest vision will remain just that, a vision, if it's not backed by consistent action. Small disciplines lead to big rewards. Just as a towering skyscraper is built brick by brick, so is a rich life built habit by habit. I once heard a story of a man who wanted to become wealthy. He was tired of struggling, tired of just getting by, and decided to change his life. But instead of waiting for a windfall, he started small. He read one book on financial literacy, then another. He saved just a little from each paycheck, then a little more. He invested what he could. Over time, those small decisions compounded. Years later, he was no longer working for money. His money was working for him. This is the power of discipline. A little effort each day, repeated over time, produces extraordinary results. The challenge is that most people want success fast. They want wealth overnight. But success doesn't work that way. Success is a process, not an event. The question isn't whether you have big dreams. The real question is whether you have the discipline to stick with them when progress feels slow. Because in the end, dreams don't come true because we wish for them. They come true because we work for them. Every dream worth chasing comes with obstacles. They are life's way of asking, how badly do you want it? The challenge is that most people see obstacles as stop signs instead of tests. The moment things get tough, they throw up their hands and say, maybe this isn't for me. But those who succeed, the ones who rise above the rest, see difficulties as stepping stones, not roadblock. Think of a seed planted in the soil. Before it ever reaches the sunlight, it has to push through layers of dirt, stretch its roots, and fight for space to grow. If the seed had a mind of its own and could talk, it might say, why is this so hard? Why can't I just grow in the open air? But nature doesn't allow that. The struggle is part of the process. And just like that seed, every obstacle you face is not there to stop you, but to strengthen you. I remember meeting a young man who wanted to start a business. He was passionate, excited, and ready to take on the world. But the first time he faced rejection, he got discouraged. The second time, he started doubting himself. And by the third time, he was ready to quit. But I asked him, did you really think it would be easy? Did you think success would roll out a red carpet for you? The truth is, if success were easy, everyone would have it. But success filters people out. It separates those who are willing to push through from those who are looking for an easy way out. Now, if you want to speed up your success, there's one simple way. Find someone who has already walked the path. Success leaves clues. If you want to get in shape, don't take advice from someone who's never been to a gym. If you want to build wealth, don't listen to your broke uncle who has an opinion on everything but results in nothing. Instead, find mentors, people who have achieved what you want to achieve, and learn from them. When I was young, I thought I could figure it all out on my own. I had ambition, I had drive, but I was missing one thing: guidance. Then one day I met someone who had built the kind of life I wanted. He had financial freedom, time freedom, and a sense of purpose. So I asked him, what's the secret? And he told me, there is no secret, just a series of small decisions repeated over time. He taught me the value of learning from those ahead of me. He handed me books, shared lessons, and most importantly, showed me what was possible. That changed everything. Because the truth is, no one succeeds alone. The fastest way to success is to find someone who has done it and follow their lead. Let their mistakes save you time. Let their wisdom guide your steps, and let their success remind you that it's possible. There's a reason why some people struggle financially while others thrive. It's not because one group is lucky and the other isn't. It's not because of the economy or their background. It all comes down to mindset. Millionaires don't think like average people. They don't see setbacks as the end of the road. They see them as lessons. They don't focus on what's missing. They focus on what's possible. And most importantly, they don't let circumstances dictate their financial future. They take control of it. I once met a man who told me, I'll start my business when the economy improves. Another said, I'll invest when I make more money. And another, I would succeed, but my boss doesn't pay me enough. These people had one thing in common. They believed their financial future was controlled by someone else. But the truth is, no one gets rich by waiting for perfect conditions. No one builds wealth by hoping for things to change. Wealth starts in the mind before it ever shows up in the bank account. There was a time when I was struggling financially, and I told my mentor, if only I had more money, I'd be set. He looked at me and said, no, if you had more money with the same mindset, you'd lose it just as fast. That hit me hard, because he was right. How many people win the lottery and are broke within a few years? How many athletes and entertainers make millions only to end up in financial ruin? It's not about how much money you make. It's about how you think about money. Change your mindset and your income will follow. And one thing that tests mindset more than anything else is rejection. The road to success is paved with rejection, failure, and disappointment. And here's the truth. Most people won't make it because they're not willing to endure it. They take rejection personally. They see failure as a sign to stop instead of a sign to adjust. But rejection and failure aren't there to break you. They're there to shape you. I remember when I started in sales, I was terrified of rejection. I'd give my pitch, and if the prospect said no, I'd feel defeated. Then my mentor gave me a new perspective. He said, every no brings you closer to a yes. Every failure brings you closer to success. And he was right. The first 100 times I heard no, I felt like quitting. But then I realized if I just kept going, eventually I'd find the right people. And I did. Every millionaire has failed. Every successful person has faced rejection. The difference is they didn't let it stop them. They understood that failure isn't the opposite of success, it's part of it. If you fear failure, you fear success. But if you embrace the lessons, push through the setbacks, and keep moving forward, success is inevitable. A dream without a plan is like a ship without a rudder. It drifts aimlessly, hoping the wind will take it somewhere good. But success isn't about drifting, it's about direction. I've met plenty of people who have dreams of becoming wealthy, building a business, or achieving financial freedom, but when I ask them what their plan is, they don't have one. They say, I want to be rich, but they haven't mapped out how they're going to get there. A dream is exciting, but a plan turns that dream into reality. It's not enough to say, I want to make $1 million. You have to decide how you'll do it. Will you start a business, invest wisely, develop a high-income skill? And once you've decided, what's the next step? Because the best way to predict the future is to create it. A farmer doesn't just wish for a harvest, he prepares the soil, plants the seeds, waters the crops, and waits patiently for growth. Success works the same way. You don't just hope it happens, you take daily action to make it happen. Small, disciplined efforts add up over time. But here's the catch. Even with a great plan, if you surround yourself with the wrong people, you'll never get far. Look around at the people in your life. Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? If you're always around people who complain, make excuses, and settle for less, their mindset will rub off on you. It's inevitable. But if you spend time with winners, people who think big, take action, and refuse to quit, you'll start adopting their habits, their drive, and their vision. There was a time when I was stuck. My income wasn't growing, my motivation was low, and I couldn't figure out why. Then I took a hard look at my environment. I was spending time with people who weren't going anywhere. They weren't growing, so I wasn't growing. But when I changed my circle, when I started learning from successful people, listening to their ideas and absorbing their mindset, everything changed. Success leaves clues. If you want to be rich, spend time with people who know how to build wealth. If you want to be great, surround yourself with greatness. Because who you spend time with will shape who you become. Most people live their entire lives trapped inside a box of their own making. They settle for routines, habits, and patterns that feel safe, but in reality, that comfort is holding them back. Growth never happens inside the comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself beyond what's familiar, beyond what's easy. It happens when you dare to do things that make you uncomfortable. Think about it. The first time you tried something new, whether it was learning a skill, starting a business, or speaking in front of an audience, it probably felt awkward, maybe even terrifying. But over time, what once seemed difficult became second nature. That's how growth works. If you're not stretching yourself, you're not growing. And if you're not growing, you're falling behind. Because the world keeps moving, and if you're standing still, you're actually losing ground. The greatest rewards in life come from doing the things most people are unwilling to do. That's why so few people achieve wealth, success, or financial freedom. They stop when things get uncomfortable. They quit when it gets hard. But the ones who keep going, they win. Not because they're the smartest, not because they have the most talent, but because they refuse to quit. Take a look at any successful person and you'll see one common trait: persistence. They've failed more times than they can count. They've faced rejection, criticism, and setbacks. But they didn't let those failures define them. They got back up again and again until they broke through. Most people quit right before the breakthrough. They work hard for a while, and when they don't see results fast enough, they give up. But success doesn't work on your timeline. It tests you first. It asks, how badly do you want it? And if you're willing to persist, if you're willing to push through discomfort and keep going when most people stop, you'll reach the other side. And that's where the rewards are. There comes a moment in every person's journey where they have to make a decision, a real decision, not just a wish, not just a hope, but a firm, unshakable decision that says, no matter what it takes, no matter how long it takes, I will never give up on my dreams. Because let me tell you, the road to success is long. It is filled with obstacles, setbacks, and moments that will test your patience, your courage, and your belief in yourself. But those who refuse to quit, those who keep moving forward, those are the ones who write their own success story. Success is not about luck. It's not about having the right connections or being born into wealth. It's about a commitment to keep going when others stop. It's about taking full responsibility for your life and saying, if it is to be, it's up to me. If you adopt that mindset, there is no limit to what you can achieve. History is full of examples of people who refused to quit, even when everything seemed impossible. Take Colonel Sanders, the founder of KFC. At the age of 65, when most people would have given up, he went door to door trying to sell his fried chicken recipe. He was rejected over 1,000 times before he found success. Imagine if he had stopped at rejection number 999, but he didn't. And because of his persistence, his name became a global brand. Or think about Walt Disney. He was fired from his first job for lacking imagination. His first business went bankrupt. He was rejected by banks over 300 times when trying to get funding for Disneyland. But he didn't quit. He believed in his dream. And because he kept going, he built an empire that continues to inspire millions around the world. These stories prove one thing: failure is only permanent if you accept it. Rejection is only final if you let it be. Most people quit too soon, not realizing they were just inches away from success. They let temporary defeat turn into a permanent decision. But those who refuse to quit, those who get back up every time they fall, those are the ones who win. Your dream is worth fighting for. Your success is waiting on the other side of persistence. But you have to decide right now that you will never, ever give up. Because in the end, the ones who win are simply the ones who stayed in the game long enough to succeed.